Hi, my name is Mary Karen Hunt, and I'm a student in interpersonal communication in Human Services 508, and this is my interpersonal communication project for Liberty University. And on slide 1, my introduction is interpersonal communication happens when the people involved talk and listen in ways that maximize the presence of the personal. When communication takes place, both communicators are always talking and listening, sending and receiving, giving off cues and taking them in, inhaling and exhaling, like we take for granted breathing. We breathe in, we breathe out. When we're in a conversation, we're taking in, like inhaling what the person's saying, and we're exhaling when we give off our thoughts back to them. And on slide 3, we have 6 features of communication. The first is meaning. Humans live in a world of meaning. Choice. All communications involve choices, like we have the choice to eat a piece of candy or not eat a piece of candy, take a drink or not take a drink. And number 3 is culture. Culture and communications involve choices. Identities. All communicating involves negotiation, identities, or selves. Conversations is the most influential communication events or conversation. Nexting. The most important single communicating skill is nexting. On slide 4, we have 5 features of interpersonal communication. The first being unique, second unmeasurable, 3 responsive, and the 4th one reflective, and the 5th one is addressable, and Stewart describes all of these. On slide 5, Stewart defines communication as the continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making, and Stewart describes this. On slide 6, we go on to enlarging the conversation. Understanding your skills in communication, knowing your weakness, and finding skills to improve these weaknesses, all the while inviting others to join you in the conversation. And what this basically means, if you see where you're having a problem in communicating, talking to somebody, like mine is jumping into conversation. If I have a thought, I'm afraid I'll forget that thought, and I interrupt. That's one of my pet peeves, and I know it's wrong when I'm doing it, but I still do it, so that's something I'm working on for myself. On slide 7, we go to my overarching goals. My goals that I have set for myself are to utilize the tools that I have learned during my course of study to help myself become a better mother, grandmother, and to enhance my career as a counselor to help the individuals that I will be working with in the future, and to gain a closer relationship and understanding of our Lord Jesus Christ. On slide 8 here, we have behavioral blend. Behavioral blend consists of 4 basic personality traits that blend together make up how one thinks, feels, and how we make decisions and relate to others. Understanding the 4 quadrants model of basic human behavior often explains why people do what they do. These insights can make the difference between right and wrong responses and the best or worst behavior in any situation. And Carbonell describes this in his book. On slide 9, we have the 4 temperament models of human behavior. We had the active and the task-oriented, and that's D. They're directing, driving, demanding, dominating, determined, decisive, and doing. Have you ever met somebody that was just, you felt like they were biting off your head, they had to have control, they were in quotes, they could jump up there and take control of things? That's active and task-oriented. Then we have active people-oriented, and that's I. They're inspiring, influencing, inducing, impressive, interactive, interested in people. And these people, they're not overdoing it. They're the type of person that you can like at the same time while they're taking control. On the passive and task-oriented, this is C. They're cautious, competent, calculating, competent, careful, and contemplative. And on the next one, we have the passive and people-oriented, and this stands for S. And this is steady, stable, shy, security-oriented, servant, submissive, and a specialist. Carbonell describes these. On slide 10, we have the behavioral model, which I just described. It's the DISC model, and it's spelling D-I-C-S. And the D stands for active, the I stands for outgoing, C stands for passive, and S stands for reserve. On slide 11, we find out who am I, and I guess you can tell by the video so far, I'm shy. My behavioral blend is C and S. I'm more passive than active. I'm people-oriented, but I prefer to be one-on-one. I'm task-oriented, but I prefer to do the research instead of being in control of the projects. I'm shyer than others. And this being said, I guess you could say, describe this as, I don't mind doing the work, but I want somebody else to start it off, so if there's a mistake, I can see what's wrong and I can pick up and go. I don't want to be the first one to make the mistake. I guess that's how you could describe that. And I'm also humble and quiet. On slide 12, we had the backgrounds and behavioral blend. My background of family and life experiences and various influences that I have encountered in my life have influenced me by living in a small rural area. Influences who I am today. How I communicate effectively with others. My belief and the faith in God and family have enhanced my communication skills. And living in a small rural area, everybody basically knows each other, and so the communication we have, we don't see anything wrong with it until we learn, we have a chance to study, such as the material that I'm studying today, that I've learned how my communications, the faults that I've been making in the past. On slide 13, my conversations. I have the positives and the negatives. On the positives, I'm patient, caring, a peacemaker, a great follower, and a loyal listener. On my negative sides, I don't like change. I'm easily influenced. I'm shy. I overdo research. I guess you could tell that when I done my piece on fireproof. I'm too concerned about what others think. Whenever I'm doing something, I'm always got it in the back of my mind, well, what will people think? What will people think of me doing this? And then I have my potential barriers and the solutions. Some of my potential barriers that I have is hearing what I want to hear. And a solution I have for that is asking questions to clarify the speaker's intent. If I don't understand what a person is trying to tell me in the future, I plan to ask questions and clarify it before I let them go any farther and I get any more lost. And one of my green flag words, the positive, is strive to listen on a level 1. And another one of my potential barriers, and this is a bad one, it's a pet peeve, and I know it's bad when I do it, but I still do it, and I need to really try to correct this, is the interrupter. And my solution for this is going to be focus on listening instead of interrupting. And I guess I can look at this like, if it was really important, I wouldn't forget it, so I don't need to be interrupting the talker. And on slide 15, I have my plan of action. My plan of action, I plan to take the time and inhale what the talker is trying to tell me. I plan to ask questions when I don't understand. When in doubt, ask. I plan to do that. I will listen to what is being said instead of hearing what I want to hear. I plan to resist external distractions. External distractions can be like the noise going on the outside, a car driving by, children playing, the TV, anything like that. I plan to block that out of my mind. And then I plan to handle internal distractions. Internal distractions could be like a headache. If I have a headache, I'll take something, try to ease the headache off so I can listen. If I'm hungry, I'll try to, anything that I can take care of, I can handle these. And I plan to respect my peers. When you have respect in a conversation, you will find that you will gain a lot more by not jumping to conclusions or not stereotyping this person. If once you meet this person, you automatically draw, I don't like them. Well, you're not going to listen to what they have to say. So my plan is to keep a clear mind and focus when I'm talking to somebody, and don't let no outside interferences block my thinking or communication with this person. And on slide 16, I never knew how much I was missing out of life until this class. I have not only learned an educational experience, I have gained so much more by learning to communicate effectively in both my workplace and family, but most importantly, I have learned to take the time and gain a better understanding of the Holy Bible that our Lord Jesus Christ has provided for us. This class has shown me the importance and how to communicate effectively. You know, I always thought in the past before this class that I was communicating effectively, that I was learning the things that I needed to learn, but now it has shown me why I've had to work so hard in the past to study, because I weren't understanding what I was taking in. Basically, I weren't comprehending what I was hearing or what I was seeing, because I weren't listening effectively. This class has really helped me, and I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for your time.